God said, pack your bag, it's time. And the moment those words reach your spirit, something inside you begins to tremble, because deep within you already know this message was not sent to entertain you, it was sent to awaken you, to shake you out of delay, fear, comfort, and hesitation, to tell you that the season you have been living in has expired, and the place you are standing on can no longer hold what God is about to release in your life. This is not a suggestion from heaven. This is not poetry. This is a divine command. And when God speaks like this, He is not asking for your opinion. He is announcing a transition that has already been approved in the unseen realm. There are moments when God speaks gently to comfort you, and there are moments when God speaks firmly to move you. And this is one of those moments where heaven is no longer negotiating with your excuses. Pack your bag means prepare your mind, prepare your faith, prepare your obedience, because staying where you are is no longer safe for your destiny. You may feel comfortable, you may feel settled, you may feel familiar with your surroundings, but comfort is often the enemy of calling, and familiarity can quietly become disobedience when God has already decided it is time for you to move. God never tells a person to pack their bag unless He has already prepared a destination. He never calls someone out unless He has already made provision ahead of them. When God said, pack your bag, He was not reacting to your circumstances. He was responding to His own promise. Long before you felt restless, long before you felt dissatisfied, long before you sensed that something was missing, God had already scheduled this moment. What you are feeling now is not confusion, it is alignment. What you are experiencing is not pressure, it is preparation. Heaven is aligning you with a future that cannot be accessed by the version of you that refuses to move. Some of you have been praying for change while refusing movement. You ask God for new doors while sitting comfortably in old rooms. You ask God for increase while holding tightly to what feels secure. But faith that refuses to move is not faith. It is nostalgia dressed up as spirituality. God does not bless stagnation. God blesses obedience. And obedience almost always requires motion before explanation. When God says, pack your bag, He is saying, trust me enough to move without seeing every detail. There are people listening to this who feel a strange mixture of excitement and fear, because deep inside you know that what God is calling you into is bigger than what you have known. You are not afraid because it is bad. You are afraid because it is unfamiliar. But hear this clearly. Unfamiliar does not mean unsafe when God is leading. The most dangerous place you can be is staying behind when God has already moved on. The safest place you can be is stepping forward, even when your knees are shaking, as long as your heart is obedient. God is not asking you to pack your bag because He wants to inconvenience you. He's asking you to pack your bag because He wants to upgrade you. There are blessings that cannot coexist with your current environment. There are levels of favor that will never manifest in places of limitation. There are assignments that will never activate as long as you stay where people know the old version of you. Sometimes God moves you not because the place is evil, but because it is too small for who you are becoming. You must understand this deeply. When God says it's time, time has already expired where you are. Heaven does not operate on human clocks. By the time God speaks, the window has already opened. Delay is not harmless, delay is costly. Every day you hesitate is a day you postpone alignment. Every time you say not yet when God says now, you stretch a season that was meant to end. Some of the frustration you feel is not an attack. It is the pain of overstaying in a season that no longer matches your assignment. Packing your bag is not just about physical movement. It is about emotional release. There are relationships God is asking you to let go of. Not because He hates people, but because He loves your future. There are conversations that no longer belong in your next season. There are environments that drain your faith instead of feeding it. There are patterns you must break, habits you must leave, mentalities you must abandon. You cannot carry everything into the next place. Obedience always involves leaving something behind. God is very intentional with His timing. When He says it's time, it means the opposition you are facing can no longer stop what He has planned. It means the resistance has reached its expiration date. It means the delay has served its purpose. It means the pressure has produced maturity. God does not move you prematurely, and He does not move you late. He moves you precisely when you are ready, even if you don't feel ready. Readiness in God's eyes is obedience, not confidence. Some of you are waiting to feel brave before you move, but courage does not come before movement. It comes after obedience. The moment you take the first step, strength will meet you. The moment you choose obedience, clarity will follow. The moment you pack your bag in faith, provision will reveal itself. God never shows the whole map because He wants relationship, not independence. He wants you to walk with Him, not run ahead of Him or lag behind Him. God said, pack your bag because the season of explanation is ending and the season of demonstration is beginning. You have talked enough. You have planned enough. You have analyzed enough. Now heaven is saying, move. There are miracles that only happen on the road. There are encounters that only happen when you step out. There are testimonies that will never be written if you stay where you are. Do not underestimate the power of obedience. Obedience activates divine acceleration. What would have taken years can happen in months. What would have taken decades can happen in moments when God's timing and your obedience align. This is why the enemy fights movement so fiercely. Fear whispers, doubt shouts, comfort seduces, because the enemy knows that once you move, you cannot be stopped. God said, pack your bag because where you are going requires a different version of you. You cannot arrive carrying old fears. You cannot step into new authority while clinging to old insecurities. You cannot walk into expansion while dragging the weight of past disappointments. This is why packing your bag is selective. You don't take everything with you. You take faith, you take obedience, you take humility, you take expectation, and you leave behind bitterness, regret, comparison, and self-pity. Some of you are afraid because you think packing your bag means losing everything, but God never takes without replacing. When God removes, He replaces with something greater. When God closes a door, He opens a better one. When God uproots, He replants in better soil. Loss in obedience is always temporary. Gain in obedience is eternal. You must hear this clearly. God is not punishing you by moving you. He is promoting you. He is not abandoning you. He is advancing you. He is not confusing you. He is clarifying your calling. The shaking you feel is not destruction. It is transition. The restlessness is not anxiety. It is alignment. The discomfort is not failure. It is preparation. God said, pack your bag because the old instructions no longer apply. What worked before will not work next. The strategies of yesterday cannot sustain the vision of tomorrow. God is calling you into a place where you will have to rely on Him at a deeper level. And that is exactly where growth happens. Dependency on God is not weakness, it is strength. There are people who will not understand your movement. They will question your decision. They will call you reckless, impulsive, unrealistic, but they were not in the room when God spoke to you. Obedience does not require public approval. It requires private conviction. When God speaks to you, His voice must matter more than the opinions of people who are not responsible for your destiny. God said, pack your bag because delay has already cost you enough. You have waited long enough. You have endured long enough. You have prayed long enough. Now it is time to walk. Faith that does not walk becomes frustration. Faith that moves becomes testimony. God is ready to reveal what He has been hiding for you, but revelation follows obedience, not intention. Do not pack your bag halfway. Partial obedience is delayed obedience. Half steps create unnecessary battles. When God says move, move fully. Burn the bridges of doubt. Close the doors of retreat. Decide in your spirit that going back is no longer an option. When your decision is final, heaven responds with power. God said, pack your bag because you are about to see Him in ways you have never seen before. The road ahead will stretch your faith, but it will also stretch your capacity. You will discover strength you did not know you had. You will encounter provision you did not expect. You will witness favor that cannot be explained by logic. This is not the time to look back and mourn what was. This is the time to look forward and expect what will be. The future God has prepared for you is not behind you, it is ahead of you. And it is waiting for your obedience. Every step you take toward it is a declaration that you trust God more than your fear. God said, pack your bag because the waiting season has done its work. You are no longer the person you were when you started. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are deeper now. What once intimidated you will now bow to the authority God has placed inside you. The journey ahead will reveal what the waiting season was preparing you for. Do not ask God to make it easy. Ask Him to make you obedient. Ease does not build faith. Obedience does. And when obedience becomes your language, heaven responds fluently. God is not calling you to a place of comfort. He is calling you to a place of purpose. And purpose always requires movement. God said, pack your bag because the door is open now, not tomorrow, not next year, now. Doors from God do not stay open forever. They require response. They require courage. They require action. Missed doors are not always reopened. This is why timing matters. This is why obedience matters. This is why hesitation is dangerous. You are not too late. You are not unqualified. You are not underprepared. God would not call you if He had not equipped you. He would not instruct you if He had not already gone ahead of you. The same God who said, pack your bag, is the God who will guide your steps, provide your needs, protect your journey, and establish you in the place He has prepared. Do not wait until everything makes sense. It never will. Faith moves without full clarity. Faith trusts without full visibility. Faith obeys without full explanation. And when you move like that, God meets you with power, favor, and confirmation along the way. God said, pack your bag because your obedience will unlock blessings, not just for you, but for generations connected to you. Your movement matters. Your decision matters. Your yes matters. There are people who will be blessed because you obeyed. There are doors that will open for others because you were willing to walk through yours. When God speaks again, after giving a command, it is never to repeat Himself. It is to deepen your understanding of what obedience truly costs and what it truly produces. God said, pack your bag because staying where you are has begun to dull your sensitivity to His voice. Familiar places can slowly silence discernment. Routine can make miracles feel distant. God moves His people not only to bless them outwardly, but to sharpen them inwardly so their spirit stays alive, alert, and responsive to His direction. You must realize that movement in God is not chaos, it is order at a higher level. What looks uncertain to the natural mind is already structured in the divine realm. God does not lead His people into confusion. He leads them into dependency. And dependency on God is the highest form of security a human being can experience. When everything else is stripped away, when familiar landmarks disappear, when the path feels narrow, that is often where God's presence becomes the clearest. God said, pack your bag because the identity you have been wearing is no longer accurate. You have outgrown it, even if people around you have not noticed yet. Heaven sees your future self before people recognize your present one. God is calling you into a place where your voice will carry weight, where your decisions will influence outcomes, where your faith will be tested and proven. Staying behind would have kept you small, contained, manageable. Moving forward will stretch you into who God already knows you to be. There is a cost to obedience, but there is a far greater cost to disobedience. Disobedience may feel comfortable in the moment, but it robs you quietly over time. It steals momentum. It weakens conviction. It dulls spiritual hunger. Obedience, on the other hand, may feel heavy at first, but it produces clarity, strength, and divine alignment. God is not interested in partial surrender. He is calling for full trust. God said, pack your bag because the environment you are in can no longer sustain the vision He placed inside you. Visions from God demand oxygen, space, and faith-filled surroundings. Some environments suffocate purpose without ever openly opposing it. They drain your expectation. They normalize limitation. God moves His people away from such places, not out of anger, but out of wisdom. You may wonder why God does not simply bless you where you are. Sometimes the place is not the problem, the timing is. Sometimes the people are not the issue, the season is. God does not waste seasons. When a season ends, it ends completely. Trying to revive what God has already closed only delays the unfolding of what He has prepared next. God said, pack your bag because He is about to teach you to walk by trust, not by familiarity. Familiarity breeds control. Trust releases control. And God does His deepest work in people who are willing to release control. Control says, I need to understand first. Trust says, I will obey first. Heaven responds faster to trust than to analysis. There are things God will show you on the journey that He will never show you while you are standing still. Movement reveals truth. Obedience uncovers wisdom. When you step out, you will see doors open that you did not know existed. You will meet people who will speak confirmation into your spirit. You will encounter moments that will remind you that God is actively involved in your steps, not passively watching from a distance. God said, pack your bag because He is about to shift your perspective. Where you are going, you will see life differently. You will value different things. You will recognize what truly matters. Some of the struggles that once consumed your mind will lose their power over you. Distance from old places often brings clarity about old battles. Do not confuse resistance with rejection. Resistance often means you are moving in the right direction. If the enemy were not threatened, there would be no opposition. God allows resistance not to stop you, but to strengthen you. Every challenge you overcome on the way refines your faith and sharpens your discernment. God said, pack your bag because He is about to teach you that provision does not come from places, systems, or people. It comes from Him alone. When familiar sources are removed, divine provision becomes unmistakable. You will learn to recognize God's hand in ways you never did before. You will see how He arranges timing, resources, and opportunities with precision that no human effort could replicate. Some of you fear the unknown because you equate it with loss, but God uses the unknown to expand trust. Faith that has never been tested cannot be trusted. Faith that has walked through uncertainty becomes unshakable. God is not leading you into emptiness. He is leading you into fullness that requires faith to access. God said, pack your bag, because the next place will demand a deeper level of discipline. What God is about to entrust to you requires maturity. It requires consistency. It requires a heart that listens quickly and obeys fully. God does not elevate people to destroy them. He elevates them to establish them. Preparation always precedes promotion. You will notice that as you move forward, some people will naturally fall away. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. God removes distractions so you can focus on assignment. Not everyone who walked with you in one season is meant to walk with you in the next. Holding on to everyone can delay everything. God said, pack your bag because He is repositioning you strategically. Where you are going, your influence will increase. Your words will carry authority. Your presence will shift atmospheres. God does not randomly place His people. He positions them intentionally. Every step is calculated. Every delay has meaning. Every move serves a greater purpose. Do not underestimate what God can do through one obedient decision. History changes when individuals obey God without compromise. Generations shift when someone chooses faith over fear. Your obedience is bigger than your personal comfort. It carries consequences that ripple beyond your lifetime. God said, pack your bag because the old battles are ending and new victories are ahead. You are not moving to fight the same fights again. You are moving to conquer new territory. You are moving to see God's faithfulness displayed at a higher level. What once intimidated you will now become a testimony. There will be moments on the journey where you feel alone, but solitude with God is not loneliness. It is intimacy. God often isolates before He elevates. He quiets the noise so you can hear His direction clearly. What feels like separation is often preparation. God said, pack your bag because delay has trained you long enough. Waiting taught you patience. Struggle taught you resilience. Silence taught you discernment. Now movement will teach you courage. God does not waste lessons. Every stage prepares you for the next. As you move, do not look for instant comfort, look for confirmation. God confirms His direction through peace that does not depend on circumstances. Even when the road is challenging, there will be a deep assurance within you that you are exactly where God wants you to be. God said, pack your bag because your future requires bold faith. Safe faith cannot sustain great purpose. Calculated obedience will never produce supernatural outcomes. God is inviting you into a life where dependence on Him becomes your greatest strength. You are not walking away from safety. You are walking into divine covering. You are not leaving provision. You are stepping into supply. You are not abandoning stability. You are entering divine order. God goes before you, walks beside you, and watches over you. The journey ahead will demand daily trust, but it will also bring daily evidence that God is faithful. Every step will remind you that obedience was the right decision. Every challenge will refine you. Every victory will glorify God. God said, pack your bag because the chapter you are entering cannot be written from where you are standing now. Movement is the ink that writes destiny. Obedience is the pen God uses to mark history. And the moment you step forward in faith, heaven responds, angels move, doors open, and what God promised begins to manifest in ways you could never have imagined. So now the question stands before you, not as theory, not as inspiration, but as a demand from heaven that requires an answer from your soul. Where are you still unpacked when God has already told you to pack? What are you still holding when God has already asked you to release? What fear are you still negotiating with when God has already spoken clearly? This is not a moment for delay. This is a moment for decision. Heaven is waiting, not because God is unsure, but because your obedience determines how quickly what He has prepared can manifest in your life. Examine your life honestly. Look at the places where comfort has replaced calling. Look at the areas where routine has numbed your expectation. Look at the moments where you knew God was speaking, but you chose silence over surrender. God is not condemning you for hesitation, but He is calling you out of it. His voice is not filled with anger, but it is filled with urgency. He is saying, do not waste another season standing still when I have already prepared the road ahead. Renew your purpose by renewing your obedience. Purpose does not begin with ambition, it begins with alignment. When your will aligns with God's will, strength flows naturally. Direction becomes clearer. Peace becomes deeper. You were not created to merely exist. You were created to walk with God, to move when He moves, to trust when He speaks, and to obey even when the outcome is not yet visible. Let this be the moment you stop waiting for permission from people who cannot see what God has shown you. Let this be the moment you stop explaining your obedience to those who are committed to staying where they are. Let this be the moment you choose faith over familiarity, conviction over comfort, and obedience over fear. God does not ask you to be perfect. He asks you to be willing. Draw closer to God, not only in prayer, but in action. Walking closer to God means matching your steps to His instruction. It means trusting His timing, even when your emotions resist. It means believing that His wisdom surpasses your understanding. The closer you walk with Him, the lighter obedience becomes, and the clearer your path will feel. If your heart is stirring right now, do not silence it. That stirring is not emotion, it is invitation. It is God reminding you that you were made for more than standing still, more than surviving, more than settling. You were made to move with Him, to grow under His guidance, and to live under His direction. Pack your bag in your spirit, pack your faith, pack your courage, pack your obedience. Leave behind regret, leave behind delay, leave behind the voices that keep you small. Step forward with humility and trust, knowing that the same God who called you is the God who will sustain you. May your life become a living response to God's voice. May your movement reflect your trust. May your obedience speak louder than your fear. And may you walk forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that when God says it is time, the greatest act of worship is to rise, to move, and to follow Him fully. Listen to me carefully. There are moments when heaven grows silent, when the noise around you fades, and something deep inside you begins to tremble, not with fear, but with recognition. It is the moment when your spirit realizes that your life is not an accident, your struggles are not random, and your delays are not denials. Right now, as you are listening to these words, God is preparing to prove something to the world through you, not tomorrow, not someday far away, but in this very season where you felt forgotten, overlooked, and tested beyond what seemed fair. God is about to prove why He chose you. You did not choose this path because it was easy. If ease were the qualification, many would have walked ahead of you. You were chosen because you could endure pressure without losing your faith, because you could walk through silence without turning bitter, because you could stand when others collapsed under the weight of disappointment. God saw something in you long before anyone else noticed. He saw your obedience in private, your tears in the night, your prayers that had no audience but heaven itself. Selection by God is never random. It is intentional, precise, and often hidden until the appointed time. There are people who think being chosen by God means instant favor, open doors, applause, and celebration. They do not understand the ways of God. When God chooses someone, He first prepares them in secrecy. He allows misunderstanding to surround them, rejection to shape them, and delay to deepen them. God is not interested in building shallow victories. He is forming unshakable faith. Every closed door you faced was not a rejection, it was protection. Every delay was not neglect, it was alignment. God was making sure that when He lifts you, nothing about you collapses under the weight of blessing. You wondered why your journey looked harder than others who started after you. You questioned why you were faithful yet faced resistance, why you prayed yet walked through storms, why you believed yet felt isolated. Understand this truth deeply. God does not train everyone the same way. He trains according to purpose. Heavy assignments require heavy preparation. Deep impact requires deep refinement. God allows pressure not to crush you, but to reveal what He already placed inside you. Gold is proven in fire, not in comfort. There were seasons when you felt invisible, when your efforts went unnoticed, when your faith felt like it was echoing back at you with no response. But heaven was never silent. God was watching how you responded when no one applauded, how you trusted when nothing made sense, how you remained faithful when results were delayed. God is not moved by performance. He is moved by perseverance. He is not impressed by loud faith. He honors consistent faith. And you remained standing when others walked away. Do not be confused by the silence of this season. Silence is often the sound of God working deeply. A seed buried in the ground looks forgotten, but it is in the most critical stage of transformation. No one praises a seed for being buried, yet without burial, there is no harvest. God allowed you to be hidden because exposure too early would have damaged what He was developing. You were not being punished, you were being protected. God hides what He values until it is ready to stand against storms. There were moments when you felt alone, even in a crowd, misunderstood even by those closest to you. That loneliness was not abandonment, it was separation. God separates before He elevates. He removes distractions before He releases direction. He isolates before He assigns. When God wants to do something extraordinary through a person, He first teaches them to rely on Him alone. Human support is unstable, but divine support is unshakable. God wanted you to know that when the moment comes, it will be clear that only He could have done it. People will look at your life and wonder how you survived what should have destroyed you. They will ask how you kept your heart soft when circumstances were harsh, how you kept believing when evidence said otherwise. They will not understand that your strength was never your own. It was God carrying you when you felt weak, guiding you when you felt lost, sustaining you when you were close to giving up. What you survived will become the very evidence of God's hand upon your life. You were tested not because you were weak, but because you were strong enough to endure the testing. God does not waste trials on those who will walk away. He invests trials in those who will grow. Every challenge you faced was shaping your character, sharpening your discernment, and strengthening your faith. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. You have depth now. You have wisdom born from pain. You have authority forged in endurance. There is a divine reversal approaching. What once resisted you will begin to cooperate. What delayed you will begin to accelerate. What confused you will suddenly make sense. God is not slow, He is precise. He never arrives late, He arrives when the impact will be undeniable. When God moves in your life, it will not be subtle. It will be clear, evident, and undeniable that His hand was involved. People will not be able to explain it with logic alone. Those who doubted you will witness your elevation. Those who dismissed you will recognize your assignment. Those who overlooked you will see God's favor resting upon you. Not because you proved them wrong, but because God proved Himself faithful. Your life will become a testimony not of human effort, but of divine orchestration. God does not lift people to impress others. He lifts them to demonstrate His power, His faithfulness, and His sovereignty. Do not rush this season. Do not resent the process. You are being prepared for something that requires maturity, humility, and unwavering trust. God is building a foundation in you that cannot be shaken by praise or broken by criticism. When God opens the door, you will walk through it with clarity, not confusion, with authority, not fear, with gratitude, not pride, because you will know that everything you have is the result of His hand. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing to obey when it was uncomfortable, willing to trust when it was difficult, willing to remain faithful when it was lonely. God does not search for flawless vessels. He searches for surrendered hearts. And your surrender caught His attention. Your quiet obedience moved heaven. Your persistence in prayer shifted things you could not see. Right now, even if circumstances have not changed yet, something is shifting in the unseen. God is rearranging connections, aligning opportunities, and preparing moments that will change the direction of your life. What felt like stagnation was actually positioning. What felt like delay was divine timing. God is never absent from the process. He is present even when you cannot feel Him. Faith is trusting His presence without needing proof. You are about to step into a season where your faith will be rewarded openly. The tears you shed privately will produce joy publicly. The prayers you whispered will produce testimonies that speak loudly. God does not forget sacrifices made in secret. He honors them in due time. Your obedience planted seeds that are about to break through the surface. Stay humble. Stay grateful. Stay connected to God. Elevation without humility leads to collapse. but elevation with surrender leads to impact. God is not just lifting you for your sake. He is lifting you so others can see what trust in Him produces. Your life will inspire faith in those who were close to giving up. Your journey will remind others that God still chooses, still prepares, still delivers. You are not overlooked. You were selected. You are not delayed. You were developed. You are not rejected. You are redirected. God's hand has been on you through every step, even when you questioned it. The proof is coming. The clarity is coming. The manifestation is coming. And when it does, you will understand why it had to happen this way, why it had to take this long, why it had to shape you this deeply, because God is about to prove why He chose you. There are moments when God deliberately allows confusion to surround you, not to disorient you, but to detach you from dependence on certainty. Faith is not built on what you can predict. It is built on who you trust. God knew that if everything made sense too early, you would lean on understanding instead of surrender. So He allowed unanswered questions to remain, not as punishment, but as training. He was teaching your spirit to rest even when your mind was restless, to believe even when outcomes were unclear. This is the kind of faith that moves mountains, not because it sees the end, but because it trusts the one who controls it. Understand this deeply. God does not reveal the full picture to those who are not prepared to carry it. Revelation comes with responsibility. Insight comes with weight. God withheld certain answers because He was strengthening your capacity to handle what is coming. If He showed you the magnitude of what He plans to do through you too early, it would have overwhelmed you. So, He let you walk step by step, moment by moment, learning to depend on Him daily. This daily dependence is what separates temporary belief from enduring faith. There were times when you prayed for clarity, but God gave you endurance instead. You asked for direction, but He gave you discipline. You wanted change, but He gave you character. Because God knows that clarity without character leads to collapse. Direction without discipline leads to distraction. And change without growth leads to regression. God is not interested in quick transformations that fade. He is building something that will last long after emotions settle and seasons shift. What you thought was God saying no was often God saying not yet. Timing matters to God more than speed. He sees consequences you cannot see, connections you cannot predict, and outcomes you cannot imagine. You were being held back not because you were unqualified, but because the environment was not ready. God does not plant seeds in seasons where they cannot survive. He waits until conditions are aligned for growth. When He releases you, it will be into soil that sustains what He has planted within you. You may not realize it yet, but your restraint has been as powerful as your action. The moments you chose patience over panic, prayer over pressure, trust over control, those moments shaped your destiny. God watches how you respond under restraint because it reveals whether you can handle release. Anyone can praise God when doors open, but few remain faithful when doors remain closed. You remain faithful. And heaven recorded every moment of quiet obedience. There is a difference between those who chase success and those who carry assignment. Success can be pursued, but assignment is revealed. God did not design you to chase validation. He designed you to carry purpose. That is why applause never satisfied you, and recognition never fulfilled you. Something deeper was calling you. Something eternal was stirring within you. That stirring was God reminding you that your life is meant to impact more than a moment. It is meant to influence generations. God allowed resistance because resistance strengthens discernment. Without opposition, wisdom remains shallow. You learn to distinguish between voices, to recognize what aligns with truth and what distracts from it. You learn that not every opportunity is a blessing. and not every open door is from God. Discernment is forged in moments where saying no costs you something. God trusted you with discernment because He knew you would honor Him with it. You were misunderstood because your calling does not fit familiar patterns. God often chooses unconventional paths to accomplish undeniable outcomes. When people cannot categorize you, they often criticize you. When they cannot predict you, they resist you. But God never intended for you to be easily understood. He intended for you to be effective. When His work through you becomes visible, understanding will follow impact. There were seasons when you felt like you were giving more than you were receiving, pouring out without being replenished. But God was teaching you that true strength flows from Him, not from circumstances. He was showing you that when your source is secure, your supply is steady. You learn to draw strength from prayer, peace from trust, and confidence from surrender. These are resources that do not run dry. Do not underestimate the power of what you endured quietly. Loud victories often rest on silent sacrifices. God honors what is done without recognition because it reveals pure intention. You did not remain faithful to be seen. You remained faithful because you believed. That belief is what qualifies you for what is coming. God entrusts influence to those who have faith. Fool without it. Soon your environment will begin to reflect the internal growth you experienced. External change follows internal alignment. When God completes His work within you, He allows it to manifest around you. What once felt stagnant will begin to move. What once felt blocked will begin to open. But the greatest change will not be what happens around you. It will be who you are when it happens. You will step into new doors without losing humility, new influence without losing integrity, new responsibility without losing reverence. God is positioning you to be evidence. Evidence that faith is not wasted. Evidence that patience is rewarded. Evidence that obedience matters. Your life will answer questions people never asked out loud. Your journey will speak to hearts that words could not reach. God is not only elevating you, He is sending a message through you. You will recognize the shift not by noise, but by peace. When God moves, He brings clarity, not confusion, confidence, not chaos, assurance, not anxiety. You will know that the season has changed because what once drained you will no longer have power over you. What once intimidated you will no longer control your decisions. You will walk with quiet authority, not because you feel superior, but because you are secure in God. Remain anchored. Do not let urgency replace obedience. Do not let excitement override discernment. God's timing requires patience, even in moments of breakthrough. Rapid elevation still requires steady faith. Stay grounded in prayer. Stay attentive to God's voice. He did not bring you this far to leave you unguarded. The proof is unfolding. The confirmation is aligning. The purpose is activating. And when people look at your life, they will not be able to deny that God was present in every delay, every trial, every silent season, every moment you almost gave up but didn't, every step you took without clarity, but with trust, every prayer you whispered when strength was low, every decision you made to believe even when doubt surrounded you, because God is about to prove why He chose you. There is a sacred weight that comes with being chosen by God, a weight that many desire but few are prepared to carry. Being chosen does not mean your life becomes lighter. It means your life becomes meaningful. God entrusts responsibility before He releases reward. He shapes the carrier before unveiling the gift. That is why your journey required endurance beyond comfort and faith beyond emotion. God was preparing you to stand firm when influence arrives, to remain steady when recognition grows, to stay faithful when responsibility increases. You are learning that God's way is not hurried, yet it is never wasted. Every season you walked through served a purpose, even the ones that felt unproductive. God does not measure progress the way people do. While others count visible achievements, God counts inner alignment. While others celebrate speed, God honors stability. What you build slowly will last longer than what others gain quickly. God values depth over display. There were moments when you felt the tension between what God promised and what you were experiencing. That tension was not meant to break you. It was meant to stretch you. Stretching increases capacity. Without tension, growth remains limited. God allowed you to feel the gap so that your faith could expand to fill it. You learned to praise before evidence, to trust before confirmation, to move forward before certainty. This is mature faith, the kind God responds to. God has been teaching you how to listen beyond words. In the stillness, you learn discernment. In the waiting, you learn wisdom. In the silence, you learn sensitivity to God's guidance. Noise demands reaction, but stillness, invites revelation. God speaks most clearly to those who are willing to quiet everything else. Your willingness to listen is preparing you to lead with clarity. You were refined in private so you could serve with purity in public. God removes motives that are mixed and intentions that are unclear. He purifies the heart so that when the moment comes, your actions reflect His will, not personal ambition. Influence without purity corrupts, but influence with humility transforms. God is positioning you to transform environments, not be consumed by them. Do not underestimate how closely God has been guiding your steps. Even the detours were directed. Even the pauses were purposeful. Even the losses were instructional. You thought some doors closing were setbacks, but they were safeguards. God closed what would have limited you to make room for what would expand you. He protected you from environments that could not sustain the calling placed within you. You are beginning to realize that strength is not the absence of fear, but obedience in spite of it. Courage is not loud confidence. It is quiet resolve. God strengthened you by teaching you to move forward even when your heart trembled. Faith is not the elimination of uncertainty. It is the decision to trust God above it. You learn to walk while unsure, to stand while questioned, to believe while tested. God is developing a resilience in you that cannot be shaken by circumstances. External conditions no longer determine your internal state. Peace has replaced panic. Discernment has replaced impulsiveness. Trust has replaced anxiety. This inner transformation is evidence that God is at work. Before He changes your situation, He secures your foundation. You were never meant to fit in. You were designed to stand out through integrity, consistency, and faith. God does not need you to imitate others. He needs you to revolve. CT His purpose. Comparison weakens calling, but obedience strengthens it. God shaped you uniquely so that what He does through you cannot be replicated. Your authenticity is part of your assignment. There will come moments when people seek your counsel, your presence, your leadership. They will be drawn not to your words alone, but to the peace you carry. That peace was forged through trust. It was developed through surrender. It was sustained through prayer. God gave you peace not to escape difficulty, but to carry authority through it. Remember this, God's favor does not remove challenges. It equips you to overcome them. His presence does not eliminate opposition. It ensures victory. You were not chosen to live a sheltered life. You were chosen to demonstrate what trust in God produces under pressure. Your life is becoming a testimony of endurance, faith, and divine guidance. You are stepping into a season where preparation meets opportunity, where faith meets fulfillment, where prayer meets manifestation. Remain attentive, remain grounded, remain grateful. The higher God lifts you, the deeper your roots must go. Stay connected to the source of your strength. What God is about to reveal through you will not be for your glory, but for His. It will remind those who are watching that God still works through willing hearts, that He still rewards faithfulness, that He still honors trust. Your journey will speak louder than any words you could say. Your life will declare that God is faithful, intentional, and precise, that He does not choose without purpose, that He does not prepare without promise, that He does not delay without reason, that He does not call without equipping, that He does not refine without rewarding, that He does not test without strengthening, that He does not hide without revealing, that He does not choose without proving why He chose you. Now is the moment to stop waiting for permission and start responding to the pull within your spirit. Examine your life honestly, not with condemnation, but with courage. Ask yourself where you have settled when God was calling you higher, where you have delayed obedience out of fear, where you have relied on your own strength instead of surrendering fully. God is not asking you to be flawless. He is asking you to be available. He is calling you to align your heart, your decisions, your priorities with the purpose He has been shaping within you all along. Let this be the hour you renew your commitment to walk closely with God, not only when answers are clear, but when faith is required. Release the weight of comparison, regret, and hesitation. Lay down the excuses that kept you stagnant and pick up the trust that moves you forward. God is near to those who seek Him sincerely, to those who choose obedience over comfort and faith over fear. When you draw near to God with a humble heart, clarity replaces confusion and strength rises where weakness once lived. Do not underestimate what God can do through a life fully surrendered. One decision of obedience can redirect an entire future. One moment of trust can unlock years of preparation. One step toward God can change the atmosphere around you. You were not created to merely survive seasons. You were designed to rise through them with purpose, carrying the mark of God's hand upon your life. Stand firm in who God has called you to be. Walk forward with quiet confidence, rooted in prayer, anchored in trust, guided by discernment. Let your life reflect gratitude instead of complaint, faith instead of fear, obedience instead of hesitation. The world does not need more noise. It needs living proof of what trust in God produces. And as you move forward, let your heart remain open, your spirit attentive, your steps aligned, knowing that the same God who prepared you, refined you, protected you, and sustained you is still with you now, inviting you to walk closer, trust deeper, and live fully in the purpose for which He chose you.